Hey, I know I'm driving right now, so I apologize up front. Was driving, had a thought come across my head, listening to some praise and worship music. Elevation worship is, that's where it's at, dude. There is a cloud. We receive your rain, bro. I'm out here crying in my car. Anyways, good song. The thought was, I had a coworker discussing with another coworker their child's feelings about marriage couple of months back now, actually, and really struck me the way that they were talking about marriage, the way they joked about it. Obviously it offended me. I'm a Christian and I believe in marriage and God ordained marriage. But more than that, it struck me because it pained me. I understood the issues that they faced. I think we all understand how marriage can be difficult, but it was sad to me how they belittled marriage because of their failure. So let me expound on that. I was thinking about it and I thought this: everything in life has an inherent risk. Anything you do, there's a risk involved. And with those risks, there are percentages of failure and percentages of success. There is research on that, for whatever it is. You get in the car every day, you could get, somebody could fly through a red light and you could get hit and you could die. You get on an airplane and you fly across the United States and maybe a terrorist could take it down, or the flight could go haywire and it would go down. That is far less likely than being hit by a car going through a red light. You go bungee jumping, and when you bungee jump, you're on this cord and you're flying, you're plummeting towards the ground. Well, it's happened before. The cord could break. There could be certain safety precautions that weren't taken, and the cord broke. Socially, you apply for a job. That doesn't mean you're going to get the job. You might not get the job. You are alone and in a new place, and you walk up to somebody in the gym. You strike up a conversation, either because you think they're pretty and you'd like to date them, or because you just think that they're cool and you'd like to befriend them. You're in a cafeteria and you want to speak to somebody new, and they could shoot you down, whether you're looking for that friend in the gym or that coworker across the hall. There is rejection, there is failure at any level, whether it be an activity, an action, a job, social things, whatever it is, people fail. But what struck me when I started to think about how things fail and how things succeed is that when you get into the car, you put your seatbelt on, you close the door, you lock it up. We have all these tests done on the vehicle to make sure that the vehicle is safe. So we do everything in our power with these test dummies to build and design vehicles to make them safe. We have airbags in our vehicles. The aviation field, they are continuing to advance everything about it, directions, guidance, autopilot. The pilots are getting more and more training. The security on the planes is getting better and better with federal marshals coming aboard the planes. So the likelihood of accidents or issues coming about is just getting increasingly smaller. Now, granted, things happen and things will always happen, but we take precautions. We take measures to make sure that we are safe in our cars. So we do everything in our power to make sure that we are safe. When you go bungee jumping, you have a safety instructor who goes over how you properly bungee jump and how to properly attach it to your body, and they have to have those bungee cords and straps regularly checked and regularly inspected. So even something as dangerous as bungee jumping, there are all these precautions around it, all these procedures that they have to take. They are taking measures to make sure that that bungee jumping activity is safe. So I said, why don't we do that with marriage? We talk about the failure of marriage all the time, but what precautions are we taking? What guardrails are we putting up to keep ourselves safe in marriage? What are we doing to shore up our marriages, to make them last, to make them sustainable? We do all this for our cars, we do all this for airplanes, we do all this for bungee jumping, but we do very little to work on the safety of our marriages. So it doesn't surprise me at all that something that you're not looking to protect would fail, would break, wouldn't last. We do all this in our lives to make it work, yet we can't protect something that we expect to work. In life, you can't expect anything to work unless you make it work. You have to have guardrails, you have to have precautions, you have to continually check up on your relationship. You have to check on your relationship with your wife, with your spouse, with your husband, whoever you're with. You have to take the steps to make sure that your marriage is safe. If you're gonna change the oil in your car, you need to take your wife on a date. If you're gonna change out the oil in an airplane, you need to give your wife flowers. If you are going to go bungee jumping and make sure that the cord is safe, you need to make sure that you're not gonna go talk to your pretty female worker every day at 8 a.m. You have to take precautions. If you don't, it's gonna fail. You can do it with everything else, you should do it with marriage too. Just a thought I had. Really made me sad, again, that conversation with the coworkers, and so I just had that thought. I wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you take something away from it and learn. I know that I did.